Director of the Liberia National Fire Service. So that's the arrival of Honorable Daniel Otesano and Honorable Johnny Takpa. Honorable Johnny is a Deputy for Administration and Honorable Daniel Otesano is a Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. So once again, sticking still with us, don't you go away to bring you full coverage of MICAT regular press briefing. I am Asiami Koniki following.
Ministry of Information, Public Affairs. This afternoon, I'd like to inform you, especially those in the diaspora, that you can get on the radio that ELBC radio.com. Our radio listeners, our social media followers, and those community radio stations that join ELBC, we have to thank you. Members of the press, for those of you who was opportune to have gone with us for the government town hall and we came back safely. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Republic of Liberia Department. I know my boss will do the people want. I'd like to thank you for your self-donation. I'd like to also welcome the Deputy Minister for Administration, Honorable Johnny Takpa, my boss, Honorable Daniel Otesano, the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs, who is the presiding officer for today's press briefing. He will speak to you on issue of national concern. After which, we have the Liberia National Fire Service. They will speak on their own perspective. The incident manager, the executive director of the National Disaster Management Agency, Honorable Dulleh, will also provide you an update on some current affairs. I'd like to invite Honorable Daniel Otesano, who will speak to you on issue of national concern. I will subsequently invite our guests in the Sunday.
That of the voice of the Director of Press and Public Affairs. This is Honorable Daniel Otesano, the Minister for Press and Public Affairs. Keep following.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Good afternoon to our distinguished platform guest. Is once more an honor to be back in Monrovia and conducting another edition of the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. We have made our duty to not just inform the public about unfoldings in the government, but to frequently invite stakeholders from various sectors. Come here, speak with the press, speak with the Liberian people. But doing so, information can be disseminated in real time. People can know what is happening across all the sectors of the government. So today is no exception. We have Mr. Dulleh, the head of the National Disaster Management Agency. Since the start of the rainy season, the period that was predicted that will experience flood and heavy downpour of rain. Mr. Dulleh has not been here, so they have been working with affected persons across the country. So we invited him to speak on the activities of the National Disaster Management Agency. Of course, one sector that is also has been transformed, even though a lot is required to be done there, but to an appreciable level, the National Fire Service has been transformed. The other day we were talking about the response time when a fire disaster occurred. When they are called upon, what is the response time, which is very key in assessing the impact they are making. So the Director General of the National Fire Service, Honorable MICAT, is here. He'll be speaking to you on some of the improvements the fire service has made, not just in Monrovia, but across all counties. Don't forget, the last time we talked about the fire service here, they embarked on a decentralization process. So we are happy to have the two distinguished gentlemen. Of course, they are accompanied by members of their senior management teams. When they mount the podium, they will do the proper introduction for the benefit of the press and the listening public. We are back in Monrovia. We were in Nimba County over the weekend for the second edition of the government town hall. And I just want to take this time to appreciate the young members of the MICAT Press Association who accompanied us in Nimba Sankole. Their presence there was very important. The second edition of the town hall was very successful. And I can see one edition after the other, interest is being built in the program, the momentum is being created. And as a ministry, we take pride in the fact that this level of innovation is gaining momentum. It's helping to address some of the communication problems that the country has faced over time. So the second edition of the town hall was conducted in Sandy College. We also want to thank officials of government that honor our invitation. We went there. You know, when you are a public official, you are like a servant to the public. And so whenever you are called upon to give account of your stewardship, you are obligated to answer to that call. And so you saw scores of government officials in Sanikole, where the town hall was held, and the turnout also from the local was very impressive. So traditional leaders, youth advocacy group, the student community, the disabled community, the women groups, the business community in Lima were all in attendance. The interaction there was very fruitful. And I'm sure people left that hall with different mindset as opposed to the way they were thinking about the government when they entered. Because if you were contemplating on certain things that were addressed, for example, when Mr. Woman spoke, the rounds of applause he received from the audience clearly tells you that he spoke with clarity and that the step that the government has taken to revamp the mining sector is a step in the right direction. It's a step intended to allow Liberia to benefit from her own natural resources. The Minister of Finance was represented by Deputy Minister Deputy Zuo. He gave an overview of where the government aims with the development agenda, the agenda for inclusive development. The Minister of Agriculture was there. He outlined the programs, the steps that we have taken to improve local production of rice and other very important food crops across the country. So every minister who spoke at that event outlined what they are doing in their respective sector to improve the overall condition within the country. We also announced at the close of the town hall in San Jose that the next edition will be held in Basel. And the government is not just about the executive. The government has three distinct but coordinated branches. The legislature cannot be exempted from this government town hall because they are the first branch of government. Everything about appropriation in the national budget derives from the legislature. In our quest to ensure that the government, and I say government across all three branches, is accountable to the people, we want to encourage members of the legislature, leadership in the legislature to also come and embrace or honor the invitation to address the government town hall. So that edition will be held in Basel. We are looking forward to getting the leadership of the national legislature to go there to also explain to the people what they are doing as far as the appropriation in the national budget is concerned, as far as their oversight responsibility. But this is how we accomplish accountability in the running of the government. So we look forward to working with the legislature, planning that event and properly executing it. That being said, let me welcome our distinguished Deputy Minister for Administration. He was out of the country to just return. And then I go to what I have to say, not much today, because we have two speakers. And I just want to start by highlighting that the government of Liberia will host the 22nd Africa Road Maintenance Funds Association General Meeting. And that event is being led by the National Road Fund. It is scheduled to take place in Monrovia from November 17 to the 23rd. The theme of the event is innovative financing and sustainability of road infrastructure in the face of climate change and mobility challenges in Africa. The theme is a call to action. It guides association reflections around three key pillars: financing, sustainability, and addressing challenges. The assembly is expected to attract more than 350 delegates from 35 African countries. This will be the first time in more than a decade that Liberia will host an event of this magnitude. So to throw more light on this, we have spoken with folks at the National Road Fund, and they have agreed to be here on Thursday to provide further details on this international conference. It is the 22nd Africa Road Maintenance Funds Association General Meeting. So they will be here on Thursday, the day after tomorrow, to talk in detail about this event. The Ministry of Health received a consignment of medical supplies from the government of the People's Republic of China. Materials are intended to enhance maternal and child care in rural Liberia. The donation includes delivery bags, infant warmer for rural clinics, vaccine, high maternal and neonatal mortality rates. The government, through the Ministry of Health,
described the donation as a most needed gift, stressing that the supplies would drastically reduce preventable deaths in underserved communities. The donation highlights the deepening Liberia-China partnership and marks a step forward towards improving maternal and child health outcomes across the nation. So we then followed very closely comments attributed to former Solicitor General Councillor MICAT. Listen to him, he urging the President to instruct the police director or the police officer to arrest somebody who is alleged or accused of committing a counterfeit. As we have always indicated here, criticism is very helpful for our democracy. But when we try to overstretch our criticism to the extent that we want to give the presidency that authority to do certain things it is not authorized to do, then our criticism is not good. Our criticism is not good. But you know very well that the indication will not be healthy for our legal system, for our criminal justice system, when the president just sits in a mansion, take a phone, say, go and arrest a person. We're now at war. There's no state of emergency. Why should the president interfere with a criminal investigation? Why? So we wish to re-emphasize the government's zero tolerance for the heinous crime of rape and reassure the public that in handling cases such as rape, like any other crime, the criminal justice system must be allowed to operate void of any external influence or interference. The system, the processes laid out in our criminal justice system should be followed and will be followed, and no one will copy it or be spared. The police is investigating the allegation against Mr. J. Bryant McGill, and we are certain the public can be assured that the right thing will be done when the processes are exhausted. So we disagree with the councillor on his demand that the president should get take a phone and instruct the police to arrest an alleged perpetrator. We think that the venerated lawyer is wrong on his point. He intends to give, by this criticism, by this point, Councillor Bongo intends to give the presidency new powers. That is the power to interfere with the criminal justice system by telling the police who to arrest, when, and how should they be arrested. It is a dangerous precedent, and we do not want to give credence to anything, any such dangerous precedents that jeopardizes the criminal justice system. it is not within the authority of the Liberian president to abort investigative process that are currently ongoing by law enforcement officer, just in the name of giving order. So, the public is reassured that whoever is accused of whatever crime, whether it is rape, statutory rape, or whatever category the rape falls in, the government has re-emphasized zero tolerance for rape. Nobody is going to use their position in government to circumvent or to flee after they are accused or committed a crime in some instances. Probably the accused, the police will arrest you and they put you in jail. The people who are central over there, who are police officers, they are police officers because what distinguishes them from us is because they are trained to do a particular piece of work, and to even imagine that they are trying to circumvent the processes because somebody who is accused comes from a position or stature in society is wrong. It's wrong. This is what we do. We politicize everything that happens in the country. Somebody's child is or was abused. The family deserve the attention that they need, and the best way we can console them is not to come on the radio and talk about why the man have been arrested yet and this and that. The people who investigate the law, they step their attention. And when they deem it appropriate, when they find what they call probable cause to arrest that individual, no matter what's happening. You can't say the government is shielding people because of the stature. You were here when people who come from the echelon of the leadership in the country were arrested. So, the government will not protect anybody who is accused of committing a crime. Good thing is that the Ministry of Youth and Sports announced last week that this individual who was accused of committing this crime has taken a leave of absence. So he's no longer in his official capacity. He's now an ordinary citizen. He's facing the investigation by the police. Let us give him a chance. The second batch of 22 students under the Monrovia Guangzhou International Scholarship Program departed the country for Guangzhou, China on Monday, bringing the number of students to 27. They will be in China to foster their studies. The program is part of a sister city agreement between Monrovia and Guangzhou. It is intended to foster academic excellence and cultural exchange. Before leaving the student tent, Mayor John Chafar and the Monrovia City Corporation vying to represent Liberia with pride. Their families, loved ones were there, and they gave them heartfelt bon voyage as they departed the Lagos International Airport. The Liberia Electricity Corporation, on the rural electricity updates, is continuing the process of expanding electricity to rural communities. On the CRG Rural Electrification Project, which is funded by the African Development Bank, 44 towns and villages across Bon County are being connected under this project. The scheme involved, as we have always said, 3-kilometer stretch of transmission lines linking substations in Buchanan, Bogota, and Yekepa. The CLSG Rural Electrification Project, supported by the African Development Bank, is part of Liberia's broader efforts to expand access to affordable and reliable electricity to rural communities. The project leverages a CLSG transmission backbone to ensure thousands of Liberians benefit from improved electricity supplies and infrastructure. The network extends power supply across 4 counties: Rambasa, Bom, Nima, and Riverside. The project will bring reliable electricity to about 4,000 customers with the initial installation of 1,000 streetlights on principal streets. On principal streets are key facilities including schools, hospitals, and public buildings. The grid, which will be managed by Jumbo Energy Power JP, stands as a testament to LEC's commitment to expanding access to electricity for all Liberians. According to the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the CLSG Rural Electrification Project disclosed that approximately 85% of targeted communities in Bond County have already been connected to customer metering onboard. The LEC says the project is expected to be completed by November 2025. On that note, we stop here and now invite the Director General of the Liberia National Fire Service to the podium. We will speak to you. We will be followed by Mr. Dulleh, and then we will take the questions from the members of the press. Yeah. Welcome, Director.
The House of the Voice of Ramadan Odesano, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs at MICAT.
This morning we are to brief. First, let me say thank you to the member of the press for the work you do. To go to places to get the news. Something can be encouraging, and sometimes people get better with you, but that's a job to provide the information. So I want to say thank you. Yesterday, in the afternoon, we received a call at around 2:19 p.m. There was an explosion around the flour mill. We responded in 5 minutes. I was still waiting. We were able to put the situation under control by 3:02 p.m. And after that, according to our report, we were able to rescue people and our person from there. Many people were taken to the hospital. This morning we follow up with the victim. We had about 19% at TFP and one at the Piglet Medical Diagnosis Center, 16th Street. Some are critical condition, all are responding to treatment. So we have to make that clear. We are following up with the situation. In fact, our chief of investigator was there this morning. So one of my own team, the other is here, and other people are better interested in go there and assess the situation. So we started with individuals, which put out the team. All right, so they want to pass that on you. The Liberia Fire Service is doing well. We are responding to fire situation in the country. A matter of fact, a few weeks ago, we we deployed a truck in my MICAT yesterday, and we are looking at also making the strength in Kenya in Mimba. We are also anticipating coming this budget hearing for 2026. We want to make a case of our decentralization process so that the government gets some money to build fire stations in Dulleh, Dixville, Johnsonville, Marshall, Kenya communities, so that when there's fire in this area, because firefighting has to do with time. Time is very important. So that in fact, we're going to respond without fire and not under control. So if we get this structure going, then if there's any fire in Dulleh, the station will be the first response while the other station. We also want to look at the county, right? One county, Wami, Cape Town, the southeast. By the way, we had a tour of 3 regions. We have 5 regions. The 15 counties divided into 5 regions, 3 county regions. So we visited region 1, region 2, and 3 to assess the situation. So we know what's going on in these countries. So we'll be working with the government and agencies that are responsible, like the legislature, the Ministry of Finance, so we can do all the construction, fire station equipment in the country as well as the groups, so that we can have people selling these heroes. As you know, we brought in some new equipment, that those equipment are helping us to perform. We brought in 6 new fire trucks, 2 water tenders, 3,000 gallons and 5,000 gallons. And those tenders can also fight fire as well. We got 2 fire jeeps, rapid response. We got motorbike that will be issued. In fact, as I speak to you now, they are being issued out to the stations and 3 regional commanders. Where our fire investigator, technical self-driving in there, and there's a situation with the truck, we got to move in to put it on control. So they will get one. And the PSD, the people who do the investigation on the conduct of our officers. So they will be receiving that. I hope that during the last day, we will visit region 4 and 5. At the Grand River G, Maryland, River Cell, Sando, and Grand Crew will be visiting the area to assess, to see the condition, and see what we can, in the last phase, and see what we can do in those countries. We were able to, through our partner Orange, we visited Ivory Coast to do what we call peer review, to see how they are affected by that part of the continent. And so we had that visit, we were 3 troopers from Operation High. We had a wonderful time. That review was eye-opener for us. We had something in common. They have something advanced, in. But we'll be working with them to see what we can do. They are also agreed to come here and assess our situation and see what we can do as well. We attended the International Association of Fire Chief Conference in Orlando, Florida. And that conference brings fire chief across America and other continents as well. This year, Liberia was really a country from Africa that was there. So we had the opportunity to learn new things and to interact, to engage. After the conference, we had the opportunity to interact with our citizens in Florida. 4 communities that want to know all the situation and the challenges of the children of the fire department. We were able to bring them, and they were impressed, and they also want us to give them some proposals and see how best they can intervene. After that, we got an invitation to go to Eldor, the oldest city, in Eldor, Barua. One of their police was there, I think they worked. So we were able to post a flag on the 23rd of August, because the 24th was on Saturday. So we posted the Liberian flag in our city. On the 24th, we had a program We have a program in honor of the mayor. The mayor was born in Liberia. A parent of missionary, he was born in Rangers. And so he was so excited to see me, and we had our program. And he's planning to come to Liberia to see what is going on in Liberia. All right. As we go to what we asked him, we ask you to join us in awareness. Fire is not one man business. It's for all of us. Because the life is saved in your home, a friend, family member. So as the put the last thing will be calling on you, will be engaging MICAT to go on awareness. Because we observe that last season on the highway, people just set the ground on fire, set bushes on fire, which is very dangerous. I remember I was on my way to Cape Town, left poles, a line up, and the post set the ground on fire, and the left pole on fire. I had to run to Clay. The guy jumped, scared him, brought to go there and arrest the people who did it. So we need to take that head on. The fire prevention awareness is very important. Because let me tell you one thing. We had a situation already, somehow we have horses, like the opossum one way. And now the opossum say, it has sense, right? You better touch up on it one way. And mistakenly, in the fire call, say the living room. You got no way to come up. That's how I found it in 77. Fire started in the living room. I thought the worker that came out, probably listening, how did they get out? So we need to go to the communities and continue to educate our people to construct. Besides that, the material that we use as well, especially the delicate material, the wire that we buy. In this country, we got the AWG, the C number 10 and 12, we got the chain wire, the C number 10 and 12. So if you have a man, I can wire my mother, man, go buy the chain wire. That chain wire, after some time, the wire, the rubber around will get dry, start breaking, every night they experience shock in your house. And people overlook it. Well, it can cause trouble. Another one again, the community here, we know it, sometimes people say it can be tough, but they power tech business also causing serious problem. Say, you go, your house will get, the current you took, they give you that line, they can only take bulbs, carry flash screen, you carry freezer, carry fan. I mean, you go on loading the current they give you, right? The line they give you, are loading it, right? They could result into fire. So we call it when you rejoin us in this campaign. So that will people that we see. I want to thank you. The information will be available to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody. To begin with, we have come here this afternoon to inform the nation on prevailing circumstances and happenings as they relate to disaster-related activities. I came along this afternoon with the Director for Rates and Early Warning so that you can be informed on where we at the National Disaster Management Agency and of course the happenings affecting our country. So we want to inform you, as the Director for Fire Service earlier stated, the National Disaster Management Agency responded to a devastating, catastrophic, and of course, dehumanized situation yesterday. We will be giving you preliminary and initial report. As the situation unveiled, we will give you systematic and of course current event report to you. This government will not leave no stone unturned as it relates to unscrupulous business individuals who will deliberately put explosives in the midst of our population. A devastation explosion erupted yesterday by the company called Mara Gas and Incorporated, owned and operated by CEO Wazin Sharifi, a Lebanese businessman. A complete set of oxygen supply to hospitals is being produced by them. Our response team, along with the fire service, the Liberia Immigration Service, the Liberia National Police, and of course, the Environmental Protection Agency were on site immediately after the explosion. According to the investigation by our team, the workforce of 38 individuals were on the compound and 21 became victimized. Currently, as we speak, 20 individuals have been hospitalized at the John F. Kennedy Hospital and 1 at the Clinic Medical Diagnostic Clinic. Sadly, we just got a report as we were here that one of the victims at John F. Kennedy Hospital has succumbed to their wounds. One Abraham Alawi, a Lebanese national.
I'll be quiet, Tiger, please.
This is a very serious situation. And the reason why we are here, we have reached the threshold of disaster. And so, the area have been quarantined, being monitored by the Liberian National Police, the EPA, and of course, our safety department of the National Disaster Management Agency. The scope of the company is taking station called Dulleh, gas operation and cooking gas, mobile storage tank. This product called botany, when burned with sufficient oxygen, can produce carbon dioxide and water. However, in limited oxygen, it can produce toxic carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emission not suitable for our ecosystem. Our team have a clearer picture, initial clearer picture of the incident. We paid a visit at the John F. Kennedy Hospital and met the chief medical officer who disclosed to us that they have received 21 patients in connection with the incident. But we were not allowed to question any of them as they were being stabilized from fresh encounter of the event. Furthermore, the victims affected 20 are male and 1 female. Consequently, the opportunity later came when one of the victims who slightly affected came out and we had the opportunity to talk to them. Given the prevailing circumstances, what we understood was contributory negligence for the workers at a very tight factory. A factory that cannot host 10 persons, but yet hosted 40 individuals. With tenders, varieties of mobile tanks. As we speak to you, victims in the hospital, according to information that we received from the hospital yesterday, most of them will be losing their sight. And some wouldn't walk. Some are experiencing breathing problem as we speak. 3rd-degree burns. It is devastating. It is sad. The compliance aspect of it, the EPA and other relevant institutions will take immediate action. Such an industry should not be in the middle of the city. Such an industry should not be operating close to residential areas. And that is the reason why the National Disaster Management Agency will begin to send their safety and risk department across the country to inspect. Part of our obligation as an agency responsible for disaster-related activity is to mitigate these things. And when there's a mitigation, are the key to disaster management. And this is what we're going to do. Liberians are lying in various hospitals today, suffering for their life because of negligence. Because we're not, I don't want to go too much in that, but as I can tell you, I feel very sad as a human being. We went there yesterday, we saw the vast majority of the people who survived. Some were amazing in action, some were terrified, some were devastated, and some were temporarily insane because of the explosion. Some could not even remember their own name. And some were running helter-skelter. And so we do not even know why we are speaking here today as I leave, whether there will be a news of another reported death. And so we'll ask you, the journalists and the Liberian people, to pray for them. They are Liberians. And by now, the organizer of that company, I wouldn't say apprehended, but should be questioned for negligence and be prosecuted if there will be a need to do so. This is Liberia, and this is a new beginning that will set the record straight. Howbeit, we will leave that now, as we will be giving you a report on this thing as it unveiled. We can't come here to give you the information. We'll be giving you the information on our page. Or we'll be calling a snap new briefing as the situation unfolds. So this situation is also compared to the Toyota fire tanker incident. They are almost like the same. And so we'll let the national government to take heed that we need to cater to these people. Some of them have families. And those families, this is the responsibility of the disaster management agency to reach out to the family as we speak to you. They are going to communities where the people are to find out how many wives they have, if they have many, or how many children they have, if they have, or their relative, so that we can begin to start seeking some relief item to them. Some time ago, we announced to you that there will be major flooding in Liberia, especially the rainy season. For the past 2 weeks, we have been experiencing a heavy downpour of rain in Grand Cape County, specifically in Pantin Town, New Pantin Town, Crew Town, Community, and Ravensford. The people are moving here, there, and yonder. They are moving from community to community. A river overflows this bank, a drainages overflows their banks, and the National Disaster Management Agency are doing everything humanly possible to get the data and to cater to them. Of course, as we speak to you, most of our country can heavily be affected because of so many factors. Induced hazard, for example, we have flooding in Mosorado, in Gaza community, Zebra Simpo, Carwell, Kreho, Tuefa, Nukru Town, Basa community, and varieties of communities have been flooded, heavily flooded. We are doing our best to cater to the Liberian people, but I can also tell you that we are overwhelmed. So the National Disaster Management Agency has sent SOS call as usual to our international communities. Our data is being analyzed, and we can assure you that the government will be doing very well this rainy season. We are also doing all modalities to see that we can cater to our people. The National Disaster Management Agency is being heavily in designing the CAT DDO for disaster-related activities. So the process is on. The disaster risk financing strategy is being completed, remain to be validated by the cabinet. And when that is done, and of course when there is a major catastrophe, it will be triggered to all line ministerial agencies that will be responsible for Pacific hazard. So we are on that, and the World Bank, also our Arrow 2 Arrow, which means ready to respond team, is also in town interviewing various line ministerial agencies to prepare the bureau to test our preparedness. Disaster management is preparedness, mitigation, awareness, and recovery. And so we are testing our preparedness in case there is a major disaster happening. And so the Bureau will be able to respond. I would like to stop here. We have more to say to inform you, but because of the devastating circumstances that is happening at JFK, we are very sad and emotional right now to continue what we are doing. I want to thank you.
Thank you. Member of the press, please come.
So that of the verse of Honorable Answer Dulleh, there's a questions by our reporters. So once again, they're just showing all of this. Welcome.
My first question goes to the Deputy Minister, Mr. Sano. I don't know, is it a law that when one is accused of raping an individual and the Ministry of Gender has already reported that they have that child in their custody, and like you said, the police is investigating, are we saying that laws is now being massaged, that the big man can be outside while he goes on an investigation and the common man goes to jail while he is waiting for trial? What is the government saying as it relates to this case involving this 14-year-old man? And to the Disaster Management Agency board, I saw how the information about people who are reportedly at GFT is inconsistent. The fire service here, nothing questions. You are reporting the old man outside there listening. What can we see? How many questions is currently at the GFT? What's the exact number? Thank you.
My name is Mopolu and I read for Inside Liberia. So my first question goes to the government. Let me say thank for the program here in Nima County, Pakulono. But one of the concerns that Liberians have local is that you have dedicated the vice president to have been the lead dedicate for that program. And then he was not there. Within a year, decide, and he was in the program sheet as lead dedicate. And that also happened during the first segment, and that is the launch of it. He was replaced by the Foreign Affairs Minister. So the concern from the Liberian people is what the government would do in order to avoid maybe not seeing the lead dedicate. I finished asking what the government would do in order to prevent such that our lead dedicate will always be seen and the message expected will be given.
Thank you.
The last question to honorable people from the slum, and these people may not be educated like Mr. Dulleh. So what are you doing that when you come with communication for these people, majority of them are not educated, that you will consult the communication so that they will understand what they're supposed to hear from you? Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is MICAT, and I report for Sky FM. 2 questions quickly. The first one goes to the Disaster Management Agency. You said the incident has reached a threshold. My concern to you is that we have witnessed a series of incidents of such. Are you saying that the Disaster Management Agency was waiting for this incident before they can announce that it has reached a threshold? If yes, you care to explain to us why? If no, please reconcile your statement and make us understand why you mean by it has reached a threshold. And to the government, just to rephrase my coding question, what can you say to citizens that believe that the case of Mr. Magay, if you are in the case of ordinary citizens, what can you say to them? Because they have a belief that because it is a government official, so today he's not detained. If it is common citizen, he would have been detained. What can you say to them?
Next person.
Thank you. My name is Francis Dulleh, and I report for Wiz TV. My question goes to the fire service boss. How does the service conduct investigation into fires, and what actions are taken to prevent similar incidents? Thank you. So the name is Prince Mombida Tugba. I report for Spotlight Africa. First of all, my first question goes to the government, especially from the government town hall initiative here in Nima County. We have been reliably informed that there has been this fight against the media, especially where Minister of Information is being alleged of fighting, confiscating the gadget of OKFN Nima County correspondent Dulleh. I mean, the ministry hasn't made any formal statement, and the PEO have made some statement, but not say anything. What exactly happened, and the Liberian people are eager to know. Secondly, to the name is Prince Tugba. Secondly, to yes, sir.
So why the reported in the report? Be ready.
I'm saying the question is, OKFM, who's the individual works for, and in fact the PEO has made some official statement with, but there has not been any statement from the ministry. What exactly happened? That's the point. My second question goes to the Disaster Management Agency. I mean, we've been following, especially you talk about floor. The last time we heard you talking about
DN News. This is outside.
The last time we heard you talking about there will be floor, and of course there have been a lot.
Yes.
I mean, what are preventive measures you put in place prior to what is currently happening? What did you do to prevent the circumstances like we have experiencing now? Thank you.
Follow the instruction.
Good afternoon. My name is Jackson Hali Safa, and I report for SEM TV. So my first appreciation goes to the fire service boss. I think on 2 occasions I've witnessed the response team coming prompt as the moment the fire catch somewhere. For example, in New Jersey, around New Jersey Simako, there was an incident there. I remember fire service responding promptly. So thanks to you. I believe there is much more to be done. That is the awareness, getting people much more sensitized about the incident. So to the Deputy Minister, arresting somebody does not mean the person is guilty. There are protocols you need to take into account. When you arrest someone, probably if for the person's safety, community people can rise up in the morning and go there because he's been treated special somehow. But the guarantee of this person not running away again is another aspect of it. So I think it is necessary for the police to treat the deputy minister as others are treated. So the National Disaster Management boss. So my issue here, it has to do with those victims of the disasters. You spoke nice, but you failed to mention what are some of the assistance given to the victims of fire or disasters in any kind of nature. So I think you have to throw light on that. Thank you very much.
My name is Joseph Sali, and I report for Lata FM and TV. To the director of the fire service, yeah. Most often when you come in relation to press conferences, there can be major outbreak, and sometimes we don't hear the raw data from your agency, like how many victims have you survived, how many deaths have occurred during the year in review. So I don't know if you have such data, you can respond to it. And to the government, the PEL has issued a statement putting together a team to investigate the action between the journalist Franklin Dulleh and that of the Minister of Information. I wish the minister was here, but I believe that the entire staff is in communication and know about the entire situation. Will the minister submit himself to the PUI investigation? If yes, you can tell us.
Thank you. My name is Darius Kanga, and I report for OKFN. My question goes to the Liberia National Fire Service. Just a follow-up for the question my colleague asked about the data. We want to know, for the same you become director for the institution that happens, and to tell how many outbreaks or fire outbreak or report that reached your office so far. And I also concerned about, because looking at most of our, we have 17 districts, so the public want to know how many substations do you have, just in case you have any fire outbreak, that your institution will respond effectively. Thank you.
So good afternoon. My name is Ines Soko, and I report for Lux Radio. My first question is for the fire service boss. You are urging Liberians to join you in fighting fire disaster during the dry season. I'd like to recommend that you engage communities, not just media houses, because there are some Liberians who do not listen to radio. It is a recommendation from me that you could do flyers, you could engage, have town hall meetings, engage the citizenry about how to fight fire during dry seasons. The second question is for the disaster management boss. I'm not going to talk about whether you use bigger words or not. I am concerned about that old man who's selling in Rela Market, Ominga Market, and Waterside, who is not listening to the radio. But you have said you have someone who has succumbed to wounds. So is there another translation of that version that you've used? For people who are educated, they understand what you mean. I'm also confused about succumbing to wounds. I think you could make it clear for the natives out there.
hoping this year, next year, budget we can move from that day to another day, but better stay, see what we can be our kids, to be our helpers. Benefits. Next month, we have some stuff coming in, PPE, boots, cruises, other things. Then in November, we have a team coming in from Nigeria, a group called Africa Fire Mission will be coming to Nigeria to visit us, to be our guests. We want to come and assess our situation and see how best we can work with us, carry on a step forward. Also in November, we will begin some more things in PPE, SCBA, helmets, special bed for the ambulance, and other stuff will be coming. So November that will come. Someone asked about awareness. We have to be doing awareness. If you listen to EFPC, the $16 carry the messages, the private messages across the country. We also, our partner Orange, also send text messages on fire tips outbreak. And what we call our community risk reduction is what we are talking about. So at the end of the last year, we will look at our statistics. Those areas that they are current on fire have been so frequent. So we consider the area as risk community, so we are well carry the awareness. So yes, gas station across the city. Central Monrovia, we have station 1 on atmosphere that can respond to fire in Central Monrovia. Station 2 is at Boma Bridge and respond to fire in Dulleh, Bujo Island, and up to Battery Factory. Station 4 is at Stephen Double Estate, around the station, and respond to fire in between there, coming to Banana Bay, and Station 5 in Kingsville. That station respond to fire in that city. A matter of fact, we're doing some modification in that station to the city produce some work. We have for raw data. Yes, we do. There are 3 ways we fight fire: before, during, and after. Before is the fire prevention awareness, to provide the education. And fire comes about through 3 means: ignorance, carelessness, or mistake. So when that happens and there's a fire outbreak, the team moving to put the situation under control. After putting the fire under control, the situation under control, extinguish the fire, we go in to investigate. That investigation not only the cost. We want to know whether someone got hurt, or whether they were injured, whether they were dead, how many children were affected, how many will be affected, and the property that got done, we want to estimate the cost. And that is why the president is addressing the legislature in January here, giving us fire statistics and where it comes from. So we don't have a detail here. If you want to, you can come over to the office, we'll have it, we can share with you. Thank you for the commendation. All right. So when we do the investigation, normally when there's a fire outbreak, we do the first-hand report to our boss with the Minister of Justice, letting him know that we experienced this fire, especially major fire, don't fire, bush fire, where there's major destruction, we do that. But when we do the investigation, we do the statistics, we do the metrics, doing our annual report, we are attaching to that report, so that a major incident, after the final report, after the investigation, we do a comprehensive report and send it to the minister. All right? I think I answered the question. Anybody that didn't answer? I mean, thank you. Okay, before the order comes, someone has said there was misinformation in the thing. Actually, there was 21 person that were taken to hospital. As I said, one person was at Clinic Medical Institute Street in the 20 at DFP. But out of the 20, one person, I think we had 2 affected, right? But 19 were very affected. So I don't want to make that clear. Somebody say, what is that?
I wouldn't be answering that question anymore because I have been addressed. You actually wanted to say 19 critically affected. So I think, and you see, I wouldn't know what somebody will hold me responsible for speaking good English. But sometimes I become flabbergasted, you know. It is your own responsibility to dissect the information in a simple Liberian language. You don't expect me to speak the way I want to speak. So you as journalists, you are trained in different categories to explain to the people what I said. That's your job. That's what we are paying for. You're not expecting to say, all right, I will speak in simple English. That can mean I won't speak here anymore because I wouldn't know how to speak in simple English. So that should not be an issue. The issue is the substantive matter for which we are here. But I need a tutor to tutor me how to speak in a very low and simplified tone. So maybe anybody can volunteer to do that. And so when we say threshold, in disaster management, with every institution, every profession have a jargon. And so threshold in this situation, there are a certain number of people that have to be affected before we take it as a disaster. Before we can even announce state of emergency, maybe 100 human beings have to die, then we were about the president to declare state of emergency. And so that explosion yesterday, it reached a threshold of disaster. It reached a threshold that we can inform government to act immediately for extra budgetary allocation. That's what we mean. So somebody asked a question, what are we doing to prevent this thing happening? We don't have control over that. The only thing we have control over is the awareness to let you know that do not go there in the villages. We've been doing a lot of things with the fire service, going around, telling people not to walk candle on. And so we are preventing it. Government has a lot of prevailing priorities, including disaster management. And so we got to economize our activities. And that's what we are doing. How do you expect us to get assistance to somebody who is severely burned in hospital now? The assistance we are giving now is to inform you, and the doctor are also giving assistance. You don't expect us to get food items to people in the hospital. No. We are informing the Liberian people this is the situation. We are doing contact tracings of their family. And subsequently, our recovery team will be moving, our response and recovery team will be moving to their houses, and we'll have relief items to give to them. You know, in disaster management, recovery is more expensive than response. We have to continue to meet them. Our psychosocial people have to go there. I also told you that people were temporarily insane. You know what that means? It means that they are not in stable mind. It means that some will be walking and soliloquy. And so it entails so many things that we need to do. question, how many Liberians have been affected from the genesis of this rainy season? From Grand Caymon County and Mossorado alone, we have 6,372 family heads, constituting 22,576 human beings that have been affected from last week to now in Grand Caymon and Mossorado County. There are reports in the office that have not reached to us by now from other counties and from additional veterans in Mossorado and Grand Caymon counties that may even trigger up to 40 to 50,000. But we'll be giving you those reports subsequently as they unveil. I want to thank you. If I forgot about any other question, I beg your indulgence and I apologize that the next time I stand here, we'll be answering those questions as they come to us. Thank you. May God bless you.
I hope Mr. Dulleh did justice to your questions. So, Joseph, you asked why is the rape suspect not being arrested? And what I said to you in my statement was that we are asking the jack of all trades and masters of none to allow the police to do their work. I'm not a law enforcement officer. When crimes are committed, a complaint is filed before the police. They have their own professional standard and guide their investigation. So if you don't want the police, you come to MICAT and say, oh, Mr. Minister, why is it that the people are not being arrested? The most we know is that the police issued a statement and said that the accused is cooperating with the investigation. So I want you to know that prosecution goes beyond just arresting somebody. So if the police just open a floodgate, anybody who carry complaint, they just start arresting people, putting people behind bars. That's the conclusion you want? Or you want a professional force that will do due diligence to the investigation, establish what they call probable cause or prima facie evidence before they can arrest you and charge you in the court? Something has happened. They are investigating. It's giving them the time. But I cannot tell you why the police are not arrested in many years. I'm not part of the investigation. I'm not even investigating. So maybe I'll give you CCL Clark numbers you can call. She will tell you why they have been arrested in many years. I thought our goal is to see justice being done on an impartial basis where people who are accused can also feel protected and those whose rights are violated can also feel protected by the law. So, I mean, let's give them the time. Once they establish the reason why this may be at the country, there's an allegation. If the police got a reason to arrest you, they will arrest you. There are people here when they burn the Capitol building in December, when they arrested them. How many months after? 6 months after. So why you're not asking me, say, oh, why the police not arrested? Because we're investigating. And before if the police will arrest you, it means that they have reason to arrest you, to charge you and say, oh, not going to arrest you and keep you behind back. They arrest you, charge you and say, oh, that's a new police force. You see how professional they are. So let's give them the time they need to do the work. I I can understand the public concern because rape, given the age of the minor that is involved, is concerning to all of us. I'm a father, and we empathize with the victim, but criminal investigation cannot be sympathetic. It has to be on the basis of what the law requires them to do. Thank you. The absence of the VP from the government town. All the good things that were discussed at the government town, all the questions that people asked the government officials that were there, the scores of government officials, the only thing that caught your attention, the absence of the VP. The VP is not an ordinary person. He received tons of invitations every day, especially so that the chief executive of the country is not here. You know how many engagements the vice president has got to attend to? If he didn't attend a program, a public affairs program in Lima County, it becomes an issue. Because why is the people not there? The VP office is right here, Capitol building. If you need a ride, I'll give you a ride. Go there, go there. The chief of staff is there, so they can tell you why the VP didn't come here. So I do not understand why it should be a concern to you. The program was very successful. The program was very successful. You were there, you saw it for yourself. Very successful. In fact, even the launch of the event was not as colorful as what we had in my was. And all of a sudden, the absence of the VP, all mentioned the VP is boycotted. I said, oh, if you say somebody boycotted something in Ghana because if they are protest, do you have the protest letter? You say no. So why you say they boycotted? Oh, you don't want to use what people you want to use it? All mentioned the man banned it. Was it organized by him? No. We invited sector ministries to grace the occasion. All of the ministries and entities of government that were invited were there. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Agriculture, Labor, Mines and Energy, Ministry of Commerce. All the people were there. In fact, the whole cabinet was there. The only thing that has caught the attention of some of our friends is the VP absence. I don't have the energy for that. Maybe on the VP, on the Senate session open, you presiding, you can go there. Why you get to the government town hall, so you secretary, yeah? Say selected intention. I don't see how if the police announced that they are investigating, that investigation ongoing. I don't see how selected that can be. I don't see how selected that will be. They are simply being meticulous. Because don't forget, when you finish arresting that man, the thing you want to do, you finish arresting him. You arrest him, you hang on him, you put it in the newspaper. He's a rape suspect, yeah. For the government to win the case in the court, now they arrest him. And the pieces of evidence that the state will adduce to prove that case. How the government win the case. So if your issue is just about arresting and putting him on and putting newspapers, yeah, it's been a rape suspect. We all fight against rape, and that's why I open my statement by saying that we re-emphasize the government zero tolerance against rape. It is a heinous crime that should have no space in our society, especially those who try to violate the rights of minors. It's barbaric. It's a heinous crime. Equally so. The issues are brought before the law. It is not about the impulse of the individual involved. The law enforcement officer will not act on impulse. It will be the ordinary man will think, oh yeah, because if he don't know, the law enforcement officer is looking for what he wants to see before charging somebody. Because in the end, All the people making noise on the radio, oh, yeah. The government won over 62 cases the last term of court. None of them talk about it. But you know why we win those cases? Because we're not just in the business of indicting people randomly. When you listen to the Solicitor General speaking, he tells you that they are proceeding very meticulously. All the people who committed crime here, the few that they have indicted, they can survive it. In fact, the other day, somebody told them onto the court and said, yeah, okay, the thing I we did it. It's true, we did it. We used the money. But we did it on presidential immunity. And they confessed already? They confessed. So the state has been meticulous. So the police officer also that are right. Because in the end, the burning around the state, all the police are talking, yeah, the mayor, the regiment, they can't afford the government law rape cases. They can't be a good lawyer. They can't do this. So now, the people taking the time to investigate, being very professional, you say they've been selected. That is not true. So I will put the two questions that I received last together because it's about the situation that occurred in Lima and the PUL investigation as was announced last evening. We go to the government town hall. We had a colorful event. And a very stressful moving team from Monrovia to Nima. We got at 2 o'clock Saturday morning. And we had to set up the venue, make sure everything was in place so the program was going successfully. The program ends by 4 o'clock. Go to the superintendent compound, trying to get some interviews. A group of local journalists come to say, who will have an interview? The request for interview to the Minister of Information was granted on a condition. I'm not in the position to do interview on Facebook Live because I'm exhausted. I've already changed my clothes, so we can get to audio recording. You agree? You agree? He was not the only person there. There was scores of local journalists. In fact, some of the people that were there have gone the post from other media entities that will come to later on, and they debunk what they said. But the long and short is, we go in the house, force them to eat. Mr. Pierre quietly came outside. Where did they go? I came out of the house, went to pick up my phone. I came back, and I heard noise. Franklin Dulleh, who was part of those conducting interviewing the minister, had a secret video record the minister. Asked the question, why did the VP boycott the government town? So why the minister responded to the question, he took the phone out of the video record. He said, what are you doing? He showed the video. And we agreed that you're not going to do video recording because I'm not properly attired to appear in the public. So you can't record me against my will. Simple. So he deleted the video. And then he gave the phone to the minister and said, look at the phone. That's when I arrived. So I took the phone and I searched the phone. We deleted the video because we deleted it, we went to the recently deleted file. So we deleted it for them. And his friends were angry with him. So the minister asked me not to record him, not to do video recording. Why are you video recording him? So we got furious. He left the gallery and went to the security booth. Started to make wrong insinuations. The wrong insinuation he made got also where we are. The station he works for, without contacting people that were there to even balance the story. As for Front-Page Africa, I know they no longer care for the reputation. They can just publish anything. I'm going to say it. Because this paper used to be one of the leading investigative people in the country. How it has declined to a paper that just publishes any trash. See, the Minister of Information of the country assaulted your reporter. Did you see any proof? Because if you write that kind of headline, it has to be followed by what? Supporting facts, document. And then they even follow Barry themselves. They publish an audio on that story online. I read it online. When I listened to the audio, and you hear the minister is responding to the interview question, and then he said, "What you called me for? Give me the phone." He gave me the phone. The video is deleted. So you term that as assault. So you say the minister insulted your reporter. No incident of violence was reported. This incident occurred at the residence of the superintendent. You got security people all over, so if there was any incident of violence or scuffle between their reporter, Mr. Agazira, and the minister, it would have been reported, right? But no scuffle was reported, no physical altercation was reported. And you get John and say the Minister of Information assaulted the reporter. Now, OKFM on the side, the issue statement. Just basically reiterating the same thing that From Base Africa has published. So in the face of the kind of frivolous reportage, false and misleading claims coming from the two media institutions, and based on the baseline claims of assault, we see the move by the PUL as being more professional. The move by the PUL is more professional. This is what we expect. That before you publish a line in your story or before you come up with any definitive position, as was done in the case of OKFM and From Base Africa, you should have investigated. Investigate. It doesn't take any time. We are here. The minister is here. The people who were there are also journalists, not different from Dulleh. They are journalists. So you come up and make wild claims or fundamental allegations against somebody just to impede or endanger the integrity of other people. And you sometimes when we try to say this, they say, "Oh, they're trying to tell what to do in the media." No, we're not telling you what to do. We are not saying stick to what you're supposed to do as a media entity. Stick to what you're supposed to do. This man comes to say the man saw that me. If you saw somebody, there has to be some proof. You got to record, okay. Does the recording in your possession show that you were assaulted? Is there anything violent on the recording that show that for fighting on the phone, the man, you're shoving the man, before the phone out of the man, you tore the man clothes and everything? Was he physically touched by the minister? Because those are the things that have to be available when you establish assault. Nothing has said that. So the move at the PUL is more professional. The minister travels today. But I'm sure he'll be reachable via phone, the internet. When the PL reaches out to him, and will cooperate with the investigation. We are also hoping that the PL can get all our involved, our present on this incident. Because this is the way we can be able to shut people who try to use the microphone to kind of destroy the reputation of others. You publish the story. The Minister of Information assaulted your reporter. on the human rights report from the State Department Council tomorrow, and all the things there are negative, like they say, the government working. But you are helping the international press, the international people to create bad headlines for the country. Apparently, they are more interested in telling negative news. Once they go on the talk shows, at a zero platform, and there's nothing negative to talk about, they don't feel comfortable. So it's not true. And I'm also hoping that the fact checkers, I didn't want to comment on this because it doesn't make any sense at all. But the way they elevated it, and you brought it to my attention, so I'm commenting. We're also hoping that the fact checkers can be able to counter check what OKFM and Front Page Africa publish. Because they are under obligation not just to fact check politicians, they also have to fast check those who say they are white to our society. Because being a media person just give you an authority to let do whatever you want to do or say whatever you want to say about the character and integrity of other people. It's very unfortunate. Let me stop there and say thanks to all of you for today. We're somewhere again on Thursday to continue the press briefing on behalf of the government. Thank you.